So if you struggle to show up on time to work, then this video is for you. If you don't know who I am, my name's Alex Jaramillo. I own House of Shaves Barbershop. Since 2015, we've been operating, and I've probably fired at this point hundreds of barbers. And I would say 80% of these barbers that I've had to fire was due to this one thing, which is that they just couldn't show up to work on time. This is by far my biggest pet peeve out of everything. Like, I would rather you mess up haircuts because that's a skill that we can help you get better at. But when it comes to showing up on time, I just see that as a lack of respect. You don't respect the barbershop owner. You don't respect your teammates who are showing up on time. It's setting up all the stuff ahead of time for you, just for you to roll in, right at opening or right after. And you damn sure don't respect your clients because you're making them wait. If there's somebody that struggles with time, I will give you the benefit of the doubt, and in that maybe you just don't have this skill. But after you watch this video, if you're still showing up on time, then I think it's a respect thing. And I think that probably 80% of people that have an issue with showing up on time will probably never change. Like, they're just somebody who just doesn't care, right? They're going to show up whenever they feel like it. Doesn't matter what they're scheduled at. They just don't care about anybody except themselves. I've seen this time and time again. It doesn't matter what time they're scheduled for. The excuses change, but the behavior stays the same, right? Like, they could be scheduled at 8 a.m., 9 a.m., right? And, oh, it was traffic. There's traffic every day, by the way. Now it's 10 a.m. Oh, but, there's a new excuse every day. The most creative people are the ones that never show up on time because they have to spend a lot of their mental energy coming up with an excuse why they're late that day. Instead of admitting the truth, which is that you don't care enough to make an attempt to change what you're doing at home so that you can make sure you leave the house on time to get to the barbershop on time. So in this video, what I wanted to do is give you some of the tactics and the things that I've learned that have helped me stay on time when it comes to showing up at a certain time. Time in general is the most important aspect of what we do as barbers. So there's showing up to open the shop. And then also, I consider coming back. If you take a lunch break, coming back from lunch break on time is also part of punctuality. Because if you have a client waiting for you and you're not back from lunch yet, you're late. So if you're a barber that struggles with showing up on time in the morning, I'm going to give you 3 free tools that I use to help me stay organized and stay on time. So the first one is an app called Google Tasks. It's free. And I use this to keep track of everything that I need to do. It's a beautiful free app that integrates with all my Google, the email, the Gmail, the Google Calendar, everything. And anything that I need to do, I put it on that. And you can set it up so it could be a one-time thing, or you can set it up to repeat. So, amazing app. The second tool that I use is called Google Calendar. So anytime I have somewhere that I need to be at a certain time, whether it's in person, virtual, whatever, it's going in the calendar, right? And I use Google Calendar because I used to use the paper calendar organizers, and I just find that it's just way too hard to, I bring my phone everywhere. So everywhere I go, I have my calendar with me. Whereas with a paper organizer, you can misplace it. It can get messed up. I just prefer the Google Calendar. But if a paper works better for you, do that. And then finally, probably the most important thing is an alarm, which is also free, whatever alarm you have on your phone. But the way to use this alarm is what I think a lot of people don't get, especially the people that aren't showing up to the barbershop on time. So the way you want to use an alarm is, let's say you have to be at the shop at 9 a.m. You want to set your alarm to wake you up at a certain time. Let's say it's 8, right? You get up at 8, alarm goes off, and then let's say you live really close to the barbershop. We live 15 minutes away and you need to be there by 9. Well, first of all, if the shop opens at 9, I think you should be getting there by 8:30. But that's just me, because I don't like to rush in the morning. Like, being a barber is stressful enough. So I like to be 30 minutes early no matter what. And that's also, I guess, like a key bonus tip is like, whatever time you're supposed to be there, whatever time you're scheduled for, plan on being there 30 minutes before. Because even if your truck is stuck in traffic for 15 minutes, you're still going to be early. And me, I'd rather show up 30 minutes early and have time to kind of like mentally prepare for the day sitting in my car, doing whatever I need to do. But when it comes to the alarm, if you just get one thing from this video, is set a get ready alarm. So if you have to leave your house by, let's say, 8:30 to get to the barbershop by 8:45 or 9, then you want to set an alarm for, like, let's say it takes you 15 minutes to get ready. So you get up at 8, you got 15 minutes of free time, and then at 8:15, your get ready alarm goes off. Now it's time to start getting ready for work. And you're able to get ready for work in 15 minutes. And then at 8:30, it's time to leave alarm goes off. And if you just follow that, then you will never be late. That's simple, right? And I also wanted to share one of the things that I kind of realized really recently, because I noticed in myself that I get like really, really frustrated when certain people show up late, and then I don't get as frustrated when other people show up late. And I'm like, why is that? And for me, I realize that it has to do with the fact that the people that are always late are the ones that I get frustrated with the most, because I know that they're late because they don't care. They don't have any respect for their team, for their clients. And today's just a new excuse. But there's also, on the other side of the spectrum, there are people that are always on time. Like, I have barbers that have literally never been late in the entire time that they've been, maybe once in like years. And they are just like the perfect example of what punctuality looks like. And if they ever say, hey, I'm running behind, I'm like, there must be traffic. There must be something bad must have happened. So to make it so that this person who is never late is now late. It's a lot more believable when it's coming from somebody who is never late versus somebody who is always late. I don't believe anything they say anymore, because every day is a new excuse. So that's one kind of interesting thing that I learned that I observed in myself. But I can tell you that we're not the type. I'm definitely not the type of person that's going to get in your face as a barber, scream and yell. But if somebody shows up late at our shop, and it's on a regular basis, and we've had multiple talks with this person, it's just a matter of time before that person is going to get fired. Right? It's just the reality. Like, we can't run a business, especially with our barbershop being like a team-based environment where we all need to work together in order to get the job done. We can't allow somebody to show up late constantly, because what happens when you do that is now that is the culture of the team. So now what you'll start to notice is that if you have certain people showing up late all the time, and that continues to be allowed, then all of a sudden, everybody else is going to start showing up late. Now, you're going to have your certain people that are always on time no matter what, but they're definitely going to resent the fact, like, why am I even bothering? Even if they still show up on time, but like, they start to think about, why am I even bothering? Why am I going out of my way to show up on time when this person never has to do any setup in the morning, etc. And they just continue to get away with it. So trust me, at least people like me, people that care about time, and that time is such an important thing, you're not going to last very long at a shop like ours if you show up late. So my hope with this video was that you can walk away with some tools, try them out. I honestly think that, like I said earlier, most people aren't going to change. It's a respect thing. They were raised differently. But you know what? There probably are barbershops and barbershop owners that are totally cool with you showing up at whatever time you want. Not us. So keep that in mind when you're looking at a barbershop to work at, because if this place, especially if they take appointments, they're probably going to care a little bit more about showing up on time than a place that doesn't take appointments. Or that, especially if you're an employee. Like if you're an independent contractor, booth renter, do whatever you want, right? The owner can't tell you when to be there. But if you're an employee and you're scheduled, like our barbers are employees, and you're scheduled to be there at a certain time, and you basically say with your actions, I don't care what time I'm scheduled at. My phone overheated where I'm in Florida. It's hot. Well, like I was saying, if you continue to show up late at a shop like ours, you're basically telling me that you don't want to work there anymore. And you're telling the shop owner where you work that you don't want to work there anymore. And you know what? If that continues, then you're going to get your wish. One day you're going to show up for work and your stuff's going to be packed and we're going to say, hey, it's not working out. Good luck to you. And then next week we'll have another barber in that chair. Because believe it or not, as harsh as this may sound, you're replaceable. We're all replaceable. And if you don't think that's true, is there anybody alive today that was alive 200 years ago? No, we're all replaceable. And if you're one of these barbers that thinks that you give the sickest fades or whatever, like I could care less about that. We can teach people how to cut hair. You know, we can't really teach you how to show up on time. So if you're one of those barbers that struggles with time, first of all, if you're watching this, that's a really good sign. But watching is not enough. Take those 3 tips I gave you. Use a to-do list, a Google Calendar, at the very least using a get ready and time to leave for work alarm, and stop being late to work. Have some respect for yourself, for your team, for your clients. Start showing up on time, shoot to be 30 minutes early, and it'll just make your life a whole lot easier. So I hope we found that helpful. See you in the next one.